Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our online learning. This is your teacher at Personal Development, Miss Quisel Jane De Carrion. Welcome to our first week of online learning. Our objectives today's discussions are: first, explain the concept, relationship, and importance of politics, governance, and government. Second, define politics, governance, and government. And lastly, illustrate and show examples the concept of politics, governance, and government. And now, we are going to tackle about our lesson 1, the political phenomenon. Political science is basically a study of the events that are happening around you. It is specifically focused on how people interact with each other and how they struggle for power when they are in a group. For a moment, when you are in a group, think of the following. Who gets to decide where to eat for lunch? What is going to be able, the color of the classroom wall or the color of your house? Or even the activities that you will be doing when you are around with other people. All these things, though decided together, are influenced by a certain person possessing power under the existing circumstances. This is particularly the interest of the political scientists. How do people behave with respect with other people? For you to be able to understand what is happening around you, you have to have a system of studying it. This model will teach you how to understand how political scientists perform their task in studying the events around us. We will find out what is the meaning of politics. The word politics came from the Greek word "polis", which means affair of the cities. Politics is the process of making decisions that apply to members of a group. It refers to achieving and exercising positions of governance, organized control over a human community, particularly a state. Furthermore, politics is the study or practice of the distribution of power and resources within a given community. This is usually a hierarchically organized populations as well as the interrelationships between communities. In your family, your father generally makes decisions in matters that relate to the family. Sometimes, however, he shares this responsibility with your mother or maybe even with all members of the family. Your decisions, whether you admit it or not, are influenced by the decisions of the head of the family, who happens to be your father, or in his absence, it can be your mother or another member of the family who wields a certain amount of authority or power because of age or positions. This goes with the other groups in the society, such as your classmates while you are in school, your barkada, members of a church, biking club members, or even members of the Congress. Whether we admit it or not, we make decisions based on the influences by the people important to us or who has authority over us. It may be because that person is a family member, an employer where you work, or a person who occupies a positions in the government such as mayors, governors, or senators. This has long been existing, yes, even in earliest time. Our ancestors lived together with their kids. They hunted animals together. They farmed together. They protected themselves from all forms of dangers with the other members of the group. In the process, one from among them had to be the leader. This is basically the subject of politics. Who gets to emerge as a leader? What makes a person qualified to gain the power and that other members of the group entrust to the leader? What will be the decisions of the group? These are the questions that we commonly would have to answer when studying politics. They are represented by the articulation between social movements, electoral institutions, and political parties. Political articulation can be defined as the degree to which citizen and citizen groups can influence policy through democratic institution. A social movement is a loosely organized effort by a large group of people to achieve a particular goal, typically a social or political one. This may be to carry out, resist, or undo a social change. It is a type of group actions and may involve individuals, organizations, or both. An electoral system or voting system is a set of rules that determine how elections. The study of formally defined electoral methods is called social choice theory or voting theory. Why do we study politics? Political science is the study of a range of political ideas, events, actions, and institutions. It includes both understanding and explaining the world of politics that is all around us. You participate in politics, though most of the time you do so unknowingly. Politics is much more than simply voting in an election or working in a government. Reading or listening to news, making donations to aid groups, or talking with friends and families about social issues and values are a few of the many examples of political activity in our everyday lives. This means they are vary across individuals and cultures and are in many ways aligned with belief and belief system. Types of values includes ethical or moral values, doctrinal, ideological, or religious political values, social values, and aesthetic values. So, why study politics? Here are reasons why do you have to study politics. First, it helps you to know your rights. Second, it clarifies what you believe. Third, it helps you understand the affairs of our nations. And fourth, it prepares you for adult life. And now, we will tackle about the meaning of governance. Governance is all the processes of governing, whether undertaken by a government, market, or network, whether over a family, tribe, formal or informal organization, or territory, and whether through the laws, norms, power, or language of an organized society. It relates to the process of interactions and decisions making among the actors involved in a collective problems that lead to the creations, reinforcement, or reproduction of social norms and institutions. In lay terms, it could be described as a political processes that exist in between formal institutions. Various views on politics. Political parties base their political action on a certain ideology believed by their members. We could divide political ideologies under the following headers with many variations under each header. The first one is anarchism, communism, and conservatism. Although this is true of all the discussion of a new patterns of governance, it has been particularly true of environmental governments. This is probably best demonstrated by the gradual emerge of environmental and social NGOs as major players in the international negotiations, such as around climate change. They can claim to represent a global movement, yet can also draw on very local voices as witnesses to environmental problems. They can also keep watch on individual national delegations to underpin their commitment to actions. Increasingly, there are instances of NGO representatives being invited to join national delegations both to represent environmentalist strands within civil society and on account of their expert knowledge of the negotiations processes. Another set of stakeholders, known as QUANCOS, quasi-non-governmental organizations, has taken on roles that might previously have been associated with government, such as the Environment Agency in the UK. Table 2 lists the distinctions charted thus far between government and governance. For the inquiries, you may click the link https://lcms.gaitf.com/ or you may contact 0975-2708-093 or 0951-3032-796. Thank you for your participation and listening. This is Miss Quisel Jane Dicarion, your teacher in personal development. Once again, good morning everyone.